Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions on Bounce TV and to our World Wide Web viewers on www.sportsvisionsusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Hey, man, I'm proud to have you back. You had an opportunity to go on a historical tour of Washington, D.C. and the National Black Museum.
Oh, man, it's great museum. Anybody out there get a chance to go is worth the wait. I mean, and it's free, DJ.
Is it free?
Free.
Wow.
Free.
Wow. Well, we'll have a little bit opportunity to chat about that a little bit later. But also, you know what? We have the conference championships here. We're going to talk about that front and center. But we'll also have an opportunity to talk about the common denominator, Dale, for all four of these teams that are in this conference championship playoffs. They have a great quarterback. And again, we'll talk about the cost of that.
Big cost. Got to have a quarterback, though.
All that and more coming up next on Sports Visions.
It's time to save during the Nissan Year of the Truck and SUV event at Headquarter Nissan. Now, save $4,500 on new Rogue. Save $10,000 on all remaining 2016 Nissan Titan XDs. And get America's best truck warranty. Take on any job with Nissan trucks and SUVs from Headquarter Nissan.
Yes, Columbus is a Nissan town. Now it's going to be a Titan town. $10,000 off 2016 Titans.
Welcome back to Sports Visions, Dale. We finally have an NFC Conference Championship game matchup. Of course, we knew the Atlanta Falcons were sitting and waiting on either Green Bay or Dallas. The Green Bay Packers went out to Jerry's World and shocked the world. I don't say shocked the world because I think a lot of Aaron Rodgers fans kind of thought maybe that they had that edge over Dallas.
Well, you know, around here, DJ, that wasn't no shock for us. You know, we knew, we had a feeling that, Aaron Rodgers, you don't want to mess with Aaron Rodgers. This time of the year, they're hot right now. I knew Dallas was, they played over their head, but at the same time, they got a lot of rookies in some positions. But at the same time, DJ, great game. But Aaron Rodgers, he's still the man.
Let me tell you something. At 3 o'clock on next Sunday in the Georgia Dome, it's going to be on like popcorn. We're talking about the last game that's going to be played in the Dome. A lot of people thought maybe last week was going to be the last game. But, fortunately for the Atlanta Falcons, they won. And, again, they have an opportunity to host the Green Bay Packers in what could be one of the games of the century.
Well, DJ, really, I'm glad that the Packers did what they needed to do with the Dallas Cowboys. But we've been saying this all along, that the Falcons they could beat both of those teams. So it really didn't matter which one that the Falcons play. I think they match up with them great. I think really one of the biggest things that Aaron Rodgers is hot, but Matt Ryan is hot, and really as a team, the Atlanta Falcons is the hottest team in football right now.
Let's start with the Green Bay Packers because again, we have an opportunity to talk about the Falcons last because we can talk about them as long as we want to.
Okay.
But as far as the Green Bay Packers are concerned, Aaron Rodgers is the hottest quarterback, or I won't say the hottest because Matt Ryan is, but for the last 8 weeks of the season, the numbers that Aaron Rodgers has been putting up it's been just crazy.
I mean that's what he does, DJ. And we've seen this guy in person. I mean, he has a great arm. He can make every throw. He has touch on the ball. His receivers work greatly with him. He got great chemistry with his receivers. When we used to be in the parking lot and playing, everything break down.
Right.
And right then, you got to go for your quarterback. You got to save your quarterback, or you got to dip and go deep. Now, his receivers work that excellently. His receivers know how to get open.
And you know what? He's doing it without his main receiver. Jordy Nelson, again, went down with the rib injury, didn't play last week, is expected not to play this week. But it doesn't matter. Earlier in the year, but when Jordy was coming off of his knee injury, the receivers didn't respond as well as they have come together at the end of the year. Now, again, Jordy Nelson is a load, but I guess it would be somewhat similar if the Falcons had to play without Julio. Some of those other guys would step up as they have when Julio has been down.
Well, really, I think the Green Bay Packers have just been decimated with injuries, and their receivers are getting beat up. The Gordy Nelson piece, him being beat up. But at the same time, they keep plugging those receivers in, DJ. And then Randall Cobb comes back at a strategic time, and he is really one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite receivers. And then you got, for the 88 and the 89 being in the game, he knows how to distribute the ball to those guys. He's going to distribute the ball to them. But at the same time, when you are a receiver and you got a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you can't be nothing but hype to play.
What intrigues me about Aaron Rodgers, and we've been following him, and we knew that he has played and performed well. But when you hear the other great Hall of Fame quarterbacks, when they talk about it and they marvel his talents and they marvel his performances, even Tom Brady, most recently as early in the week, he was talking about he's a fan of Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers do the things he wish he could do. I mean, going throwing to his left, going throwing to his right, being able to be elusive in the pocket, being mobile, being that guy that having a high football IQ. He's a total package. And again, it's a credit when Tom Brady is a fan of yours.
Well, really, you don't really appreciate what Aaron Rodgers does until you can see him in person, DJ, and how he flicks the ball, the arm strength that he has, the touch that he has on the ball. He can buy some time. He can get open. The thing that the Falcons got to do, DJ, they got to get on this guy, man. Because I want to see him in his baseball cap. I don't want to see him in his helmet. And I think really the only way the Falcons going to be able to do that, they're going to have to run the ball, DJ.
Well, again, to the flip side of that, Green Bay, obviously on the defensive side of things, man, they're playing with fourth, fifth. They're playing with guys off the street in the secondary, which means to me, when you're the hottest offense and the highest scoring offense in the National Football League, such as Atlanta, you got a bunch of guys that hadn't played a lot of football. Seems to me that might be a day for a lot of fireworks.
Hey, man, really. That number 36, Lord have mercy, man. Somebody put some oil on him because he's going to get tested. Matt Ryan probably can't wait to play and throw against this guy. I think really the most important stat that I saw of the game last week, Julio had 6 passes for about 100 yards, but it was 3 other different receivers that had 4 receptions. Again, it goes back to Matt Ryan distributing the ball. And the leading receiver out of the backfield, Devontae Freeman catching the ball. And when they can do that combination of Matt Ryan 300, 400 yards, rushing for over 100 yards, they're going to win the game, DJ.
Now, we talked a little bit about the Packers. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons, Matt Ryan again. When you talk about Matt Ryan, we can talk about his numbers, but here's a number that is a National Football League record. 13 touchdown passes to 13 different receivers. That's unheard of. And when you talk about Julio and as great as he is, Taylor Gabrielle has more touchdown passes than he does. Man, I mean, here's a guy that, basically, is just a second-year guy off the street who has figured his way into this offense. Now, he's very talented, but Matt Ryan, and again, when you talk about that offensive game plan and you talk about that scheme, you got to give a lot of credit to Kyle Shanahan.
You do. Kyle Shanahan, hats off to this guy. But, DJ, like you said, 13
different touchdowns to receivers. A touchdown, yeah.
Well, in the game last week, 8 different receivers
That's right.
caught passes. But the other thing, you're playing against the Seattle Seahawks now, DJ, and the Falcons made them look average and really got after them running the ball. They ran the ball very well, and I think really that still is going to be the key to this game. And the Falcons going to the Super Bowl, if they can run the ball, DJ, and get after Aaron Rodgers, hey, it's going to be party time in Atlanta, Georgia.
Keep in mind the Falcons hung 36 on Seattle, and they nailed down with 2 minutes to go. They were on the 2-yard line. They could have scored another touchdown and could have put up 40 points. But, again, this offensive football team is going to be great. But, again, I'm so happy and impressed with the defense, the way Coach Quinn has this defense playing.
That's right.
These guys are flying around. These young players that we once didn't know their names, all of a sudden we know who Deion Jones is. We know, obviously, Vic Beasley is a household name.
That's right.
And the like. So, hey, man, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too, DJ, and I think really the Falcons did turn up on defense. I think their defensive line, if they can get after and penetrate and put some pressure on Aaron Rodgers, I know they're going to have a different blitz package. And, again, to be able to play Aaron Rodgers before this year and the Falcons beat him, it's going to be different this time in the sense that they got to switch up and they got to do some stunning and kind of fool Aaron Rodgers, because that's another thing that he didn't get credit for. He's a very smart quarterback, man.
All right, before we close this segment out, I'm taking the Falcons. Who you got?
Oh, man, are you kidding me? I'm going with the Falcons, too. I'm going with the Falcons.
All right, we're going to come back and do the AFC matchup.
I'm back, swimming at the gym every week. Last month, I started playing tennis again. And 4 months ago, I went hiking for the first time. I struggled with knee pain for years. Just walking upstairs was difficult. But the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute was there, from surgery through physical therapy, helping me get back to doing the things I love. Thanks, St. Francis. I'm back in motion again.
When I decided to write a ton of world-famous music after I'd lost my hearing, people thought I was crazy. Just like the other day when I wanted chicken for breakfast. People thought I was crazy again. How'd everything play out? Let me tell you about it. I'll bet you $10 that you have heard the tune I'm singing now, because I went on to be the best composer of all time. Then I went down to Chick-fil-A and ordered their brand new egg white grill. The whole thing was 300 calories and seriously the best thing I've ever had. So to recap, I'm the best composer ever in the entire world. And Chick-fil-A's new egg white grill is really, 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 really good.
Chicken for breakfast. It's not as crazy as you'd think. Try the new egg white grill from Chick-fil-A.
Welcome back to Sports Visions, Dale. Now it's time for us to talk about this AFC Championship game matchup. And, you know, when you talk about Ben Roethlisberger, when you talk about Tom Brady, you talk about two of the 4 or 5 best in the league.
Oh, man, you got those are the best two, they say, in the league. But really, they playoff season, they know championship game, they know what to do. They're always on the team when it's time to get hot, and these guys have gotten hot, and I think Ben has come off some injuries. But the Tom Brady piece, I watched the Texans game, and really they got after Tom. They were trying to get in Tom's head a little bit, and I think that's the only way you can get to him and stop Edelman. I think if those are the two keys of the game, but Tom Brady is still Tom Brady.
You know what a lot of people didn't give the Houston Texans credit about? They have the number 1 defense in the league, Dale. I mean, as quiet as they flew under the radar, but, you know, Jadeveon Clowney, a guy who we followed in college who started out slow, he's now one of the premier guys as far as defensive guys in the league now. And what gets me is that they were able to turn in those kinds of numbers on defense without the MVP of defense, J.J. Watt.
I mean, really, their defense, like you said, they're number 1 in the NFL. They played a great game. Defensively, they played good enough to win. They just don't have an offense, and that leaves another hole for Houston. But at the same time, they got after Tom Brady, and really some errors on the offense on the Texans' behalf. That really turned the game around. I think really the game was closer than really the score indicated. But still, Tom Brady is Tom Brady making big throws. I think the Bennett piece at tight end, not having Gronk at tight end, that kind of showed a little bit. But the Edelman piece, they're going to have to get on Edelman and making all these clutch passes. Tom Brady didn't throw a touchdown pass, DJ. When the last time that happened? So really, it was a good defensive game by the Texans. But again, I think the Steelers are going to have a different twist on this thing because they can run the football.
But again, going back to that game, I think when you talk about the Patriots and what they've been able to accomplish over the past several years is that, you know, it doesn't matter. They just plug and play. And
That's
the
right.
little all-purpose back Lewis, who ran back a kickoff, who ran back, of course, had a run from scrimmage. And also, I mean, this guy scored 3 touchdowns, Dale. And you say, who is Lewis? Who is this young man?
I mean, this guy, he played behind, what's his name, LaShawn McCoy in college, came in, and, you know, Belichick, they find guys to fit in their system, DJ, and every year they got a running back that gets hot at the right time.
And Blunt has been amongst the league leaders as far as
right.
the yards in the season as well. But let's go on beyond this point. When we're talking about, you know, Pittsburgh and you're talking about the Patriots, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers, their defense, believe it or not, over the last 7 to 8 weeks have been playing out of their minds.
They have. I mean, really, they have been playing real good football. You know, for all their young guys are coming back. They're healthy. You know, Harrison still is a baller at 37, 38 years old. They still getting after the quarterback. I think they can improve a little bit in that secondary. But at the same time, DJ, the best defense for their defense has been Bell, the running back.
Yep.
I mean, really, what? 30 carries for 170 yards, and I think that's going to be the game plan for the Pittsburgh Steelers because they got to keep Tom Brady on the sideline too.
Yeah, LaDavian Bell is, he has the unique running style deal. I mean, you know what? Looking at him run, I don't know how in the world he can do that. Come get up. It's almost like we used to call it tipping.
Yeah.
You get up in the hole and you just pause, and he just waits on, his lineman to block, and then he's so explosive, and he has that first step, and I've never seen anybody run like that.
I mean, really, we're taught, we played football on every level,
Yes.
and every level you playing running back, you are told to get and hit the hole. This guy kind of tips in and checks out everything, and then when he sees a hole open up, he's in. And before you know it, at the end of the game, this guy got almost 200 yards on 30 carries. So really, that's going to be big. I think the Steelers almost shot themselves in the foot last week of just selling for field goals. I mean, and really in a money game like this, those threes going to have to be sixes to beat Tom Brady.
Let's talk a little bit about this, because I know a lot of folks have been asking questions again when, Antonio Bryant, as great as he is after the game, he did Facebook Live while, of course, the coach was addressing the team. He's back there in the back clowning around with Facebook Live. What's your take on something like that?
Well, DJ, I'm old school like you. I mean, I can imagine doing something like that, because really one thing as an athlete you always taught, the locker room is a sanctuary. And what goes on with the team and in that locker room stays in the locker room. To be able to do that, I don't like that at all. And I think really, I'm sure Mike Tomlin has talked to him about that, but you can't do that. I mean, really, you're supposed to be paying attention, and, it's a great time. It's a sacred time for your team and your teammates. And I just can't imagine doing that.
And like you said, usually when all of our coaches have called us, whether it was Coach Dooley or Coach Davis or, for that matter, Coach Gregg and Coach Reeves in the pros, when they call us to the forefront after a game or during practice, everybody's in together. Nobody's lollygagging around, much less a superstar of the football team. But as Mike Tomlin, as classy as he is and always has been, he addressed it. He made everybody understand that he wasn't proud of that. He didn't like it. He thought it was disrespectful. They're going to fine him, and they're not going to hurt the football team. And I love when he said that, because by sitting him out or suspending him for a game would certainly hurt their chances.
Oh, yeah. I mean, really, again, last week we talked about that new wave coach. And, Mike Tomlin is a new wave coach.
A millennial.
He's a player's coach. But at the same time, you got to nip things like that in the bud. And, yes, they're going to fine him of all these things. But I don't think he'll do that again. And I think really the disrespectful people. Can you imagine doing that with Vince Dooley?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, real quick before we get out of here, who you got?
Come on, man. I'm going with the Steelers, man. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm going to stay with Brady, man. Again, I know that they have a lot of weapons over there with Pittsburgh, but you can't count out Brady. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Dedicado al chofer designado, sigue reinando.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're gonna be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man. Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac!
Why do we have Aflac?
Aflac!
And Major Medical?
Major Medical, boy, yeah!
I help pay the doctor. Ain't that enough for you?
There are things Major Medical doesn't do.
Aflac!
Pays cash so we don't have to fret.
Something families should get.
Like a safety net.
Even helps pay deductibles to cover your back with.
Learn about one-day pay at aflac.com/wrap.
Welcome back to Sports Vision. It's now time for our On the Wall segment, Dale. And I know this is a special segment because this is a special time. And we've gotten some emails and we've gotten some Facebook messages and some instant messages about these quarterbacks this year. There's 4 quarterbacks that have been playing outstanding. And it just so happened that all 4 of these quarterbacks are in the championship games, in the NFC championship game and the AFC championship game. And I first want to say this. When you talk about winning and your commitment as a team and as an organization to win, it's no secret. Every team, as far as I'm concerned, that I've known that ever won a Super Bowl or competed for a Super Bowl has had a top-notch quarterback.
Yeah, again, DJ, you got to have a quarterback. So the first thing, if I'm the architect and the general manager of any NFL team, I got to go get me a quarterback, DJ. I don't care where I got to get this guy from. I got to have a quarterback before I do anything. I mean, when you start talking about Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, that's top. That's the cream of the crop right there. And really, all four of these guys are NFL MVP candidates.
Absolutely, they're in the conversation. And let's talk about the teams that aren't anywhere near the playoffs. What's the common? They don't have a quarterback. It's
That's right.
Again, with all of this money, with all of these so-called experts, with all of this brilliance as far as offensive geniuses.
Yeah.
And I know, don't get me wrong, quarterbacks are not, under every tree or not on every block. But the potential, again, I know a lot of people are going crazy over Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's backing up Tom Brady. And I know that, Tom Brady's going to play probably another 3-4 years in New England. But if I was a team today that needed a quarterback or wanted to be in the hunt, I would offer everything I had for Garoppolo because, again, he's proven, Dale. I mean, these kids coming out of college now, granted, Deshaun Watson's coming out, and I know that a lot of teams like him, and there's a lot of teams that don't really like him. However, Garoppolo versus Deshaun Watson, if you had a chance to get those guys, or any one of those guys right now, I mean,
if I had a good team, then, if I had a decent team.
No, we're talking about bottom feeders.
We're talking
Everybody,
about the Jets. We're talking about the Rams. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be trying to make moves. Not only Garoppolo, I'll be trying to make a move on the Romo piece. I mean, I just think, really, you got to have somebody that's going to give you an impact right away. And most guys in the NFL, all the owners, they don't have any patience anymore, DJ.
Right.
So, I said the Rams. They got Jared Goff last year, first-round pick. That was a bust. I mean, I need somebody that's going to win right now. And I think, really, when you get the right quarterback in sync, DJ,
yes,
that's how you start the car. You got to have a quarterback, and really, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out, DJ, that, if your quarterback not playing and not producing, your team is not producing. Now,
here's the thing that you and I have been talking about for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I know the dual-threat quarterback is something that you and I definitely believe in.
All right.
But out of the 4 quarterbacks that are playing right now, we have the best one that everybody considers the best one. Aaron Rodgers, he's a dual-threat quarterback, they'll believe it or not.
Well, he is, because really he's slick with his, though. He know how to get away. He know how to buy some time, and that's what a dual-threat quarterback does. And he knows how to put the ball away and run the ball when he has to. And I think all of these guys are good ball managers. First of all, DJ, that makes them dual-threat quarterback. They know when to run and they know when to slide. They know when to get down, but at the same time, when you are a dual-threat quarterback, whatever style that you have, you extend and play. You moving the down marker, and that's what you want to do as a quarterback. You want to continue to get first down after first down, and you want to score in the red zone.
And again, don't get me wrong. Let's not get it twisted. Each one of these 4 quarterbacks have great offensive lines. I'm talking about Pittsburgh. I'm talking about Atlanta. And again, Alex Mack had a big part of coming in and solidifying that line. And then when you talk about Aaron Rodgers and Roethlisberger, I mean, those lines are solid. But these guys are smart. These guys are elusive. These guys have a high football IQ, and they go through their progressions.
That's right. That's big. And, if you're a quarterback, little kid, if you're a quarterback out there, you always got to have your progression. You got to know where to throw the ball. You got to throw the ball down the field, drop it down. It's 3 guys always running, and it always also is always 3 guys that are open. But at the same time, DJ, to have this group of quarterbacks, these guys with that kind of style of quarterback, and we talked all year, beginning of the year, about Matt Ryan, keeping him clean. And really, the more confident that a quarterback is, the better that they're going to play. If they know they're going to be protected, and I got an offensive line, and I got some running backs, I got a running game, that keeps the pressure off these quarterbacks. And most of the time, on all 4 of these teams that are going into the championship game, their quarterbacks have confidence because their offensive line have protected them.
Last but not least, all of these so-called analysts and so-called experts out there, they love to say this that makes absolutely no sense. He doesn't like to get hit. You don't like to get hit. I don't like to get hit. Certainly those 4 quarterbacks that we talk about, nobody likes to get hit. So you're not saying nothing.
And quarterbacks definitely don't like to get hit. You know,
Exactly.
it's a physical game, but at the same time, protection is there for them, whether their offensive line is doing a good job, whether they have to slide. But their main job is to be a good ball manager and keep the ball moving and keep that clock running.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're going to be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man. Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac.
I'm back, swimming at the gym every week. Last month, I started playing tennis again. And 4 months ago, I went hiking for the first time. I struggled with knee pain for years. Just walking upstairs was difficult. But the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute was there, from surgery through physical therapy, helping me get back to doing the things I love. Thanks, St. Francis. I'm back in motion again.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. Adele, I know we've been talking a lot about football, but guess what? This is championship time, so this show deserves the bulk of it because we got a lot more basketball to go. But we can't touch on the Hawks. The Hawks have been playing, and we started last week by saying the Hawks have been doing well.
They've been doing well, DJ. They've won 9 out of the last 10. The last game they played with the Knicks, they beat them by 1 point in New York. So they're getting better, DJ.
Absolutely. And again, I wanted to make sure I give you opportunity to tell the folks out there about the great opportunity that it was to go up to Washington, D.C. and check out the museum.
The museum, the African American Museum, is great. I mean, it's got 5 levels, DJ, and really it's the free event. You just have to go online and click on and get your pass. But to spend the whole day in there and just seeing the African American culture from the slave ships of Haiti all the way to the red Eldorado Cadillac of Chuck Berry. I mean, it's something special, man.
What about Michael Jordan?
Oh, man, that Michael Jordan Hall. They got statues in there, DJ, and I wish I could show you all some of the pictures of it, but it is a well-needed trip. Great field trip for some kids in school. You know, if you got a small family, all kind of people in the family, just take them. Family reunion week, great opportunity. And DJ, they got a soul food restaurant in the museum.
All right. I can't wait to check that out.
It's big, man.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for all the time we have for today's show. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.
It's time to save during the Nissan Year of the Truck and SUV event at Headquarter Nissan. Now, save $4,500 on new Rogue. Save $10,000 on all remaining 2016 Nissan Titan XDs. And get America's best truck warranty. Take on any job with Nissan trucks and SUVs from Headquarter Nissan.
Yes, Columbus is a Nissan town. Now it's going to be a Titan town. $10,000 off 2016 Titans.